Once again, Nando V Movies has sent out the call. Produce a video essay on your favourite villain from a movie, game, song, or whatever. In true Calamity Hatcher fashion, I've decided to go for one of my favourite villains ever conceived, but probably not in the form you expected. Dr. Ivo Robotnik, captor of wild animals, the world's greatest mechanic, and the ultimate frenemy to our favourite Blue Blur. I've grown up with this character since the early 90s, and the maniacal Doctor holds a very special place in my heart. But today I'm going to focus on a particular version, Jim Carrey in 2020's Sonic the Hedgehog. So grab a drink, put your feet up, slap a like on this and hit subscribe as we explore the existence of the world's greatest mad scientist. The moment Robotnik is mentioned, it's clear even his peers find him deranged and unhinged.
A lab rat with teeth.
You're not suggesting who I think you're suggesting.
I know, he's a little weird.
Weird?
No
He's
way.
a psychological tire fire.
This is my favourite type of villain. Sure, we have our relatable villains like Thanos, but there's something about an unpredictable, crazy bad guy that I find really entertaining if done well. Look at Space Jam 2. The movie is trash, but Don Cheadle is chewing the scenery and he's one of the only enjoyable things in the film. And if Cheadle can be enjoyable in that movie, then my god, Jim Carrey is
Something else entirely.
I remember sitting in the theatre for the movie's premiere and seeing Jim Carrey poke his head over the ledge to my left. I was giddy. I was so quick to point it out to my friend Phil. Even his energy in the theatre had me excited for this performance, and my god, did the man deliver. There are lots of scenes I could talk about here, and I almost went with the hilarious dance scene, but there's another scene I really wanted to focus on. The final battle between Sonic and Robotnik. There is so much hinging on this scene. Sonic uses rings to travel across the globe in an attempt to escape the pursuing Doctor, but he can't, even with his incredible speed, because Robotnik is one determined guy. Did he just blow up the Sphinx? Okay. My guy's on a mission. By this point, Sonic has spent the entire movie running from Eggman and decides he isn't going to take it anymore. Eggman's arrogance and persistence makes up his entire existence. You get it? Did you hear the little rhyme there? That was unintentional, I promise. We hear of how he made his school bully incapable of eating solid meals after he gets punched. This is a guy with a huge chip on his shoulder, and he will not allow himself to be bested by anyone again. He straight up thinks he's killed Sonic and shows absolutely no remorse.
I don't mean to be indelicate here, but someone should get some ice, keep the body fresh.
I just love this. No extracting a heavy toll, just relentless, unfiltered villainy. He's using Sonic's own power against him. He does not give a fuck. Then we move into some casual racism.
He's just a silly little alien. He didn't belong here!
And Sonic awakens via the power of friendship. Yes, it's corny, but that's always been the theme of the franchise, so I personally love it. Then, as the heavens rain down and Sonic goes all Thor on our asses, we see the insane scope of his delusions. He's powering his ship from a single quill. Sonic's got an entire body of them. He's clearly more powerful here. But then Sonic takes that power back. We literally see the energy of the quill fold back into Sonic. Eggman is completely outmatched, but with the sheer determination to not be beaten, he lowers his goggles and prepares to fly headfirst into the Blue Blur. He knows he can't win this. He doesn't have a hope in hell, but the Doctor will not accept defeat under any circumstances. These delusions of grandeur are on a level above everyone else. In Robotnik's world, he is top of the food chain, followed by his robotic servants, with everyday humans at the bottom of the pile.
About machines, they do what they're told. They follow their program.
He doesn't view Sonic as anything special. He doesn't even know his name. And even though the power fueling his ship comes from Sonic, he believes he can use it better, because he is superior to Sonic in every way. Or at least, That's what he believes. But in the end, his arrogance becomes his undoing. If he had simply stopped chasing Sonic, he never would have been trapped off-world. But this is the mantra of Dr. Eggman. Through his entire career, his cockiness has led to his downfall. As much as Sonic has delivered the final blow on multiple occasions, we often see Robotnik's own creations turn against him. This is where the writing and Jim Carrey really show their talent in full force. His behavior here is so intrinsic to the character's identity that the games have been setting out for 30 years. Then we look at the end of the film. We see Dr. Eggman on the Mushroom Planet fully embracing his game counterpart. He hasn't learned from his mistakes because he never does. He's still as arrogant and cocky as ever. And this speaks so true to the character from both the games and this movie. His progression from the start of the film to the end is iconic Eggman, while incorporating Jim Carrey's wild flair to it. It's so refreshing to see as a fan of both the games and Carrey himself. I know a lot of people consider this to be the beta Eggman, and there's definitely some validity to that claim, but it's certainly not a bad thing. This is the perfect setup for the maniacal menace that he is. We understand why he hates humans and only trusts in machines.
You know, I won't miss you when you're gone. Human beings are unreliable and stupid, and I care very little about them.
We understand his pure hatred for Sonic, the only person to ever win against him. We even get an explanation as to his wacky, zany aesthetic. In this scene, we see Dr. Robotnik sum up everything the character has ever been. And from the point we can springboard into even crazier stuff. It now makes sense why he would use roboticized animals. The only person to truly beat him is a plucky little hedgehog. So now I completely understand why Eggman uses woodland creatures. We never really get this explanation in the game. So in a way, this 2020 movie gives us more backstory to the villain than any entry in his 30-year history. Everything he's ever been or everything he ever will be can be traced back to this one scene. And I don't think that's something Jeff Fowler really envisioned when he wrote this. Damn dude, you just gave context to the past 30 years and I absolutely love it. Robotnik is the best thing about this movie. I love the movie overall. It's one of my favorites ever, but Carrey's Dr. Eggman is central to that. Sure, I would have loved more interaction between him and Sonic. As I stated, he doesn't even know Sonic's name before this battle. As I also said, this is the origins of the famous character we all love so much, and he constructs the narrative in a way that's convincing and authentic. He even picks up the voice in his last scene, and I genuinely had to double take to make sure it wasn't Mike Pollock laughing. It wasn't. That was all Jim Carrey. Now granted, a lot of my point here is hinging on the upcoming sequel, which we have no footage from yet. But if the same love and care applied to the first movie is carried over here, then I'm pretty sure we're going to see the character develop even further into his game counterpart. I mean, it sounds like he's after a Chaos Emerald and has tricked Knuckles into thinking Sonic is his enemy, so this is pretty on point. I was so pleasantly surprised by Carrey's performance, and in my eyes, this scene encapsulates everything that this character stands for. This is my one villainous scene.